Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, then welcome and thanks for joining us. I'm Kevin Eknes, a full-time professional guitar player based in Nashville, Tennessee. First of all, thanks to all of you guys who voted on the community poll. And so yeah, by request, let's dig even further into some of those rhythmic concepts that we were starting to dig into and kind of flirt with in the previous lesson. If you missed it for some reason, then it'll appear here or here, I'm not sure which one of them. And I'll put a link below in the description as well. So let's just dig into it. The first exercise can kind of be looked at as the pentatonic triplets just on steroids. Basically, we're physically going against the metric by doing subdivisions that doesn't line up. So basically, we're doing triplets, 3 notes per kind of phrase, but we're using 2 notes per string. So with a string change, that's where it gets difficult, and that's where it's challenging us to kind of like, how do we feel that actual triplet and how strong is that? So working on this will really solidify your inner clock and will kind of help you divide between what's natural to what's more musical. So for this first exercise, we're literally going to be utilizing every single shape of the pentatonic boxes. So just dependent on what key, major or minor that you're choosing, that's how we're going to pick which shape it is. Let's say we're using A minor. We're going to pick the one that's down here between the 2nd and the 5th fret, because we're going to literally utilize the entire range of the guitar and go through every single position. So A minor would use this shape. Let's say it was A major, we'd use this shape. So just depending on which key or anything that you'd like to work on, that's the position that you use, the furthest down the neck. So there's going to be 2 different angles to this one exercise, or 2 different exercises if you want, because there's only 2 notes per string. The first one would be 1 going to 2, and the second one will be 2 going to 1, and they're both going to be ascending and descending. So it'll ascend one way of the scale, and the next position it will descend, then ascend the 3rd, descend the 4th, and etc., and just go back and forth. And just depending on what kind of key you're using or anything like that, we're basically going to cover every possible way of playing the pentatonic scale like this. You don't have to limit yourself to the kind of traditional minor and major pentatonic scales. A pentatonic scale is just a 5-note scale, and you can create your own from just knowing that fact. A cool way to kind of create your own could be to use like every modal scale that you know and utilize the 3-note per string patterns that you know of that modal scale. Let's say we're utilizing this position of G Lydian. We can basically leave out the middle note of all of them and get this. You could leave out the 3rd note, get this. And you could use the exercises using kind of every kind of way of doing a scale that you'd want to, and just experiment with what works. You could obviously put it into minor, say G Dorian. very cool sounds can come from that, and just working on your subdivisions will incorporate rhythmic with some kind of fretboard visualization to kind of get to know some of these modes even better. If you're interested in some more examples and some more content about it, make sure to hit up my Patreon page. There's going to be extra supplemental material available there, and there's also community masterclasses and a ton of good stuff, and it's only $2 a month for the lowest tier. Feel free to speak your entire heart out in the comments field below. Let me know if you like the stuff. If there's something different that you'd like me to cover, let me know about that too, and give me some examples. And just let me know what kind of content you'd like to see, or if you're just digging it, then please let me know about that too, because that really gives me a factor of, or an indicator of what to kind of produce next. It's not just going physically against the metric that's important. It's also important to go back and forth between the two metrics. So here are some exercises or examples of how you can do it. We start off with kind of like a normal, like either 8th note or 16th note, and then we do a triplet. However, I highly suggest you to turn it around and do like the triplet and then do the duplet kind of a timing. Anyway, I hope you got something out of it, and make sure you hit that comment field and ask me anything that you want. Let me know about any kind of topics that you'd want to see in the future. Hit the subscribe and the bell buttons if you haven't already, and I'll see you soon.